how things went down. But this is the shit that we fight with old media and YouTube and DMCA and copyright laws around political speech. Because what this comes down to, folks, is access to political speech. What was broadcast by every carrier last night was a political speech owned by the 99%. Political speech is supposed to be the most protected speech. So I said, you know what, in all honesty, I didn't have to do shit. It's under fair use, which we can look at today, fair use. But I'm looking at the conversation here, and I'm looking at what you guys are saying, and nobody wants to talk about this shit. And I wasn't really sure I wanted to either. So what's going to happen today is we're going to look at the news, and we're going to talk about some events, and then we're going to play a fun video, and I'm going to get out of here. Because I'm just not in a good frame of mind otherwise. And just not having a good day. So, nice to see you all. And, oh yeah, well, so just to make the story, and the reason I took down the dinner last night was because he asked me to. And he I don't understand where Mike at Uptake Media or Uptake Video is with YouTube. He says they don't use YouTube Content ID, that they've applied and they can't get it. He don't think he understands how to use his YouTube channel. I was like, dude, just click the monetize button. You've been making bank. Monetize the shit out of our stream. Go, do it. Claim copyright and monetize it. That's what everybody does. That's how fucking YouTube works. But apparently he's not doing that, so I don't understand how he's making his ad revenue. So when I put by the way, I found that out as the last part today in the email exchange, that he's not connected with the monetization. I'm like, well, fuck, no wonder you're pissed. You have no way to monetize your YouTube videos on YouTube, which is the point. It's a disconnect between establishment and old school journalism and old school lockdown, asynchronous television broadcasting. There's this mentality like once it's out there once, you can't fucking do anything with it. And the internet works so differently. The rules around the internet, the rules around political speech, the rules around content are so ancient and retarded because they're written by old, ancient, dino-thinking white men that have no fucking clue how the internet works. That's why the Hillary campaign is desperate to find people to help them use the social web. They're like, we don't understand what we're doing there. We're really fucking up the social web. Please, somebody, please, a millennial, come help us. You know? This is where the new muckrakers survive. Because we understand how to use the web. But I wanted to help Mike. I was like, Jesus, dude, let me help you monetize. And he sent me a message back. He's like, we applied for Content ID again. I'm like, then I don't know what you're fucking talking about, because that's not what you do. You click a button that says monetize. And YouTube says that you need to do these few things to get monetized. And there are a couple things you need to do, but they're just related to the world of Google. But you don't understand how that works. And what's ridiculous is that I could monetize our channel. If I wanted to nickel and dime you, I could. If I wanted to send money to YouTube's buddies and establishment corporations, we could. I got 2 more letters this morning from MCNs. We really wish you'd join our network because you look like you could make us a fuck ton of money. You bet I could. That's the whole reason we don't. Because YouTube works with the establishment to block our access to political speech, like what Mike was carrying from Uptake Video. This shouldn't even be an issue. There shouldn't be any monetization of any political speech. But the Fair Use Doctrine being repealed and the 1996 Telecommunications Act, and the fact that our corporate establishment media works with our government to control political information so that the electorate is not informed, this is the bullshit that we deal with. This is why we struggle every fucking day to provide a goddamn feed. Shit, I said I was going to change it, and I didn't. I'm sorry. I can't keep my own shit together today, Jeanette. I'm sorry. Today's just a fuck today. In other corruption news, the DNC rolled back its restrictions on lobbyist donations. I don't know if you guys understand how fucking ridiculous this is, how insanely corrupt this is. But it speaks exactly to what Bernie Sanders talks about when he talks about money in politics. This is money in politics, right fucking here. How blatant, I mean, Somebody in the DNC should have said, this is really not a good move. The people are going to see through this, right? You get that, right? I mean, their candidate is losing. So what do? They repeal restrictions on lobbyist super PACs being able to donate directly to the DNC. What the fuck? This was a rule that was instated in 2008 with Obama's campaign in an effort to curtail the money in politics. So what do this year when money in politics is the number one issue going around the fucking world? Let's roll back that rule so we can take more money into politics. How dumb are you? You're not dumb at all. You're just desperate to get your candidate to win. And every time you do something like this, the people go, wow. So I can't fucking believe that they did this. And there's a message from Robert Reich here. Susan Stop Dark Act dropped this in, but this is that's really cool. That's I think that's a picture of somebody's request for renewal of the DNC membership, and they say my money goes directly to Bernie Sanders. Basically, fuck you and fire Debbie. And you scroll down here, guys. Here's what Robert Reich had to say about it. Okay. Well, actually, that's not it. He had to say a lot more about it. There it is. Okay. According to today's Washington Post, the Democratic National Committee has quietly reversed restrictions banning donations from federal lobbyists and political action committees. Restrictions that were put in place by Barack Obama when he was the Democratic candidate for president in 2008. The DNC sweeping reversal of the previous was confirmed by 3 Democratic lobbyists who said they have already received solicitations from the DNC. Solicitations for cash, folks. Because remember what Bernie said, Wall Street just donates money for fun. According to the Post, Hillary Clinton has set up a joint fundraising committee with the DNC. Holy shit! And the new rules are likely to provide her with an advantage. Do you think? It's not just for fun? To my mind, this is the worst aspect of insider-dominated crony capitalism. The rigging of our system by big money. It's exactly what Americans are reacting against in this election. Thank you, Robert. It's precisely what the movement to take back our democracy and economy from the moneyed interests is all about. The DNC appears to be nothing but siphon for more corruption. This is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Exactly. It's right. Yes, Joe. OMG. There's really nothing else you can say. OMFG. It's. I want some fun money too. Yeah, it's absolutely it's ridiculous. It's just the most criminal thing. I can't believe it. So let's just put that aside and go, okay, you've just brought more Wall Street money into politics, the DNC. You had people up there at the podium, your own candidate, talking about how this is a bad idea. And you just did that. Just ridiculous. And I don't know if you saw Scott's interview with Debbie Wasserman Schultz yesterday in the spin room, but she basically made it clear that she has no fucking clue what candidate has how many delegates, and that's just all silliness. And even though Bernie Sanders actually has more pledged delegates than Hillary Clinton, mainstream corporate establishment media wants you to think that Hillary's got several hundred more than Bernie does, which is a crock of shit. And Wasserman Schultz, the head of this organization, who should know what the fuck she's talking about, says, I don't know. They're just delegates. It's just, the corruption is so sick. It's so sick and obvious. It's sad. It plays out like a cartoon. It reminds me of like 50s cartoons about corrupt crooks. It reminds me of the idiocy of the criminals in the old Batman series. That's how stupid these people look. Really, I don't know what's this. It's like she's the Joker. I've never seen anything this dumb in my life. Talk it out. Thanks, Robin. I am getting in a better mood just being here. But people, the reason the hashtag is establishment today is because The establishment has embedded its dumbness in everything. It's just we fight something so insidious, and sometimes I wonder, after conversations with people like Mike, who really need help, you know, who really just have some problems or stuck with some old indoctrinations, and I go, we're not going to win this. We're not going to win this when we have to fight battles within ourselves. Which lends to my point yesterday about the dinner and the event earlier at the forum where the Native American was screaming at Bernie. I absolutely agree with everything that guy had to say. We cannot divide amongst ourselves, folks. We have to stick together. We have a greater enemy to fight. Like this one. Right? Like this, misinformation. This is Vice News telling us the truth. Thank you, Vice News. And basically, what you're looking at here is what we've all seen this graphic, where it says Hillary 394, Bernie 44. Okay, and that, and you see, here's the thing. I'm going to zoom in on this because actually they show you that Bernie has more pledged delegates, but they just do it in a very, very, very small way. You got to zoom in really close. So you see there where it says pledged delegates in the light blue and then super delegates in the dark blue. Notice how Bernie's bar is actually bigger than Hillary's bar in that. But the number they give you overall is a false figure. 394. 44. That's a false figure, folks. The truth, scroll on down here and find it in the writing. Sanders won 15 delegates in New Hampshire while Clinton took 9. And he actually leads Clinton overall in pledged delegates as well, with 36 to her 32. Because delegates pledge, folks. Delegates have to choose. I don't know why they claim she has all these others, but this is the truth. Okay? That's the truth. But you're not seeing that across mainstream media. You're seeing that in Vice News. You're seeing that on independent news. You're hearing that on TYT. Speaking of TYT, we have a video of theirs we're going to play because they're cool and they get it. And we respect what they do and appreciate the fact that we can run their videos without them shutting down our channel. So everybody knows, and we all talk about this, the social contract, folks, of honoring TYT. We go there, we like their stuff, we share their stuff. That's part of the social contract, the social economy. This is the economy of the modern era, the economy of the 21st century on the web. It doesn't function like the establishment economy of dollars and cents and paper and carrier pigeons and smoke signals and retarded ancient shit. Okay? It functions at the speed of the web. It functions at the speed of light. It functions at the speed of human beings that think at the speed of the web, like you, right here. Right. Let's listen to what Cenk Uygur has to say about who wins, who's winning, who's going to win this, his prediction. Cenk predicts who will win the Democratic presidential nomination. I like this.
I promise a second dramatic conclusion. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm now moving Bernie Sanders to the favorite.
Whoa, Nelly!
55% chance he wins the nomination. Okay.
Cenk, is that rounded? Or is it exactly?
No,
wow. Cenk Uygur comes into a Friday show all jacked up.
So when all of this process had started and Bernie Sanders had a 60-point deficit in Iowa a year ago, I had him at 1%. Then if you guys have watched the show super closely, you'll know that I, at some point in the process, moved him up to 5%. And recently, I don't know if it's recently, a month and a half, whatever it was, I moved him 25%. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he can do it. You remember when I was saying, you were on the show, Jimmy? I'm like, he can do it. He can do it. I see the pathway, right? Now the pathway, I think, is probable. Okay, as I looked at the map and all the states Hillary Clinton's supposed to win, outside of the South, I thought, no, she's not. And I didn't do that based on, oh my God, and I'm looking at polling, I'm looking at momentum, I'm looking at the results we've already gotten, I'm seeing how much he outperformed the polling in Iowa and New Hampshire. And as you look at all that and you look at some of the assumptions baked into the numbers, as I was talking to Ben about this off air, they say, oh, well, she's obviously going to win New York because she was a senator from New York. That's not at all obvious. She was running against a Republican in New York, not against Bernie Sanders.
Right. I use the same argument I just made with you. This helps your point. The notion that we look ahead to a primary like New York for someone who's not really from New York anyway and thinks she's going to win. It's like looking at the 2016 NFL schedule and seeing the Colts play the Patriots in New England in Week 14 and going, the Colts aren't going to win in New England in Week 14. That's a lock. Well, dude, they're going to play 13 games before then. It takes place in 9 months. It's going to be different. And so you can't look at it. Nothing affects these results more than the results that happen along the way. Believe me, if Bernie Sanders wins 17 primaries before New York, he might win New York.
Yeah, and we've seen 2. And there are going to be days where we'll see far more than that in one day. I mean, it's been a long time since 2008, but that campaign went on to mid-May at the very least. Like, we've still got more than 3 months, possibly, of every day having to deal with this. So a lot can change in either direction, theoretically.
Well, there you go. I like that. And I was reading your comments there, and yeah, they are huge. QIT, they he used the internet. Jake used the internet correctly, and yeah, good stuff there. 55% wins the Democratic National nom. I like that. Looking at your comments, folks. Yeah, today sucks. Why, Bad Wolf Time Lady? Why does it suck for you? Clinton is coming to Chicago Wednesday. Yeah, as far as schedules and stuff, Bernie's in, I think, Colorado today, and we didn't capture that. I know he was at, I don't know where he's going. I don't know if we're going to have the event. We got a card for it. I don't know that we'll have a feed, and we'll see. I honestly need to figure out what the hell we're doing here too. So, I love having this audience. I love having you guys here. I really enjoy it. But I said we need to figure out how to make it sustainable. I said back in November that I said in October that I needed to figure out a way to make it sustainable by November, and we don't have that because everything is shifted. And so I put myself and we put this network into triage, ER, war mode. But you can't stay in war mode. You can't stay there. So. Anyway, I'm babbling on about this, and I promised I would never just whine on a show, which is why we're going to make it a quick show. So what we're going to talk about is some other things. Nevada. Right now, they're tied in Nevada. That's what the latest polls are showing. And as we've seen statistically from these polls, Bernie, that usually means Bernie has an advantage one way or the other because polls aren't very accurate. So we're moving to Nevada, and this is a good opportunity to talk about Solar City. Bernie was talking with Solar City employees this morning somewhere. We don't have the footage of it. Maybe we can find it later. But back up before we go into that. There's more than 100 of you watching right now, and that makes my morning. That makes me feel good. Thank you for being here. I apologize if this is a downer show. I'm Debbie Downer today, but that's awesome. To have 100 plus watching, 187 playbacks, thank you. If you missed, the reason we don't monetize is because I don't want to nickel and dime the 99, and I'm not interested in putting any money into YouTube's corporatist funnel. The event last night, the dinner was taken down by request of Mike at the Uptake, and I won't take down the other one, because we use 2 different feeds, and he wants me to edit out his shit, and Mike, I don't have the resources for that. Get real. So you're welcome to monetize it, and if you fight me, if he chooses to issue a YouTube strike on that for copyright reason, I have all 4 parts of fair use locked, and I explained that explicitly, that we use our content under fair use. We meet all 4 issues of fair use. So, I mean, despite that other fact, folks, everything we use of political content is under fair use. It's just that I have to fight it in court. But I'm ready to do that now. So, let's go, CNN. I don't know. I should probably take that out. Why not? I know this is anyway. And Celeste said something. She said, "You have a following, my man," which is awesome. Thank you, guys. And I said, we have a following. Celeste is here. It's me. It's a whole bunch of people in Slack. It's all of you out there together. We are together. We're just a family, folks. We're just a family of people working together to try to save our planet, try to save our nation, try to put some sanity back into the way our government runs. Because it doesn't have a lot of it right now. So Nevada. Nevada. Yeah. Warren Buffett owns the utilities there. Warren Buffett is a establishment Democrat, so he's one of those guys like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, these guys that look good on the outside, and they are good in terms of establishment, good or bad. But really, they just use these donations and these charities and things as tax shelters and havens, and they do other things and projects like Buffett owning all of the utilities in Nevada and fighting Solar City on solar, because they know, Warren Buffett knows, and establishment politicians, establishment money makers that are working with the fossil fuel industry. Here's the deal: they understand that the big change. This is the difference between Elon Musk. Elon Musk is Solar City fighting in Nevada. Warren Buffett is fossil fuel fighting Solar City. The difference. Solar City and the new electric grid, the new energy, is about maintenance, not profit. I mean, sure, there's profit in maintenance, but it's about maintenance, not charging for consumption. Okay, because you don't have to dig into the ground, you don't have to refine, you don't have to keep finding more. We're not dealing with a limited resource anymore. Therefore, the resource no longer needs to be charged for. What you're charging for with a new green energy grid is the maintenance of that grid once the cost of the build of the grid has been paid for, right? We do these kind of things all the time. Hey, people, you're going to pay for this shit, and once it's built, you're going to pay less because we'll all be sharing it, and now we just maintain it. And that's the difference in profit between what the establishment wants to make, which is we can not only define how much we make, but we can change how much we make on that resource. And we can define how much that resource costs because we work with the oil industry. So if costs go up for oil barrels, then cost for electric goes up, and fuck you, consumer. Under Elon Musk's world and energy, under renewables, and this is why our government fights renewables. See, don't make enough fucking money for greedy 1% fuckers. Okay? You buy a grid. You pay for that grid, which we will do by liquidating Exxon, the Nazi Germany of the energy industry. And we will take that money and we will build the world an energy grid because Exxon owes reparations to the planet. You want to talk about reparations for all people? That's the first one I want. I want Exxon liquidated, and I want their billions spent to build us a grid. I want legislation put forth for that. I will write the fucking legislation for that. I would become a congressperson just to write the legislation for that. I want to see that happen. Back to the point. Elon Musk has been building Solar City, working on electric cars, working on SpaceX, working on the Tesla Powerwall. Because what he wants to do is provide a renewable energy system and make money off maintenance. Right? And maintenance is going to cost less and less and less and less. Okay? This is the difference between greed and profit. We're not saying don't make a profit. We're not saying, obviously you have to make money to maintain. But don't be a fucking asshole. Don't be a greedy son of a bitch, Warren Buffett. And every establishment politician, and Obama. You're a greedy son of a bitch because you want TPP and your environment bill, which are fucking contradictive. There's a difference. We're going to watch a little video here from Solar City because Solar City's badass, and more people need to understand what they're doing and understand why investing. And this is what when you do solar right now, you are investing in the future. You are investing in a grid that can be maintained. Where are we at with comments? I'm running off here. There's people that I don't even know what you're talking about. Grayson, Bernie's a good gentleman, good role model. Bernie is a good gentleman. Rude is bad. The polls always underestimate Bernie. What do we have here? 112. We're growing. I haven't. My ranting hasn't pushed people away. Wonderful. All right, we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch this. The solar flight, Nevada for solar, because there's a petition that's in the drop down, the rundown. I think I dropped it in there. I think I put it in the description. Did I put links in the description, Celeste? I can't remember. Look there, guys. I think there's links. Sign this petition for Nevada. Nevada's the next state. We know Bernie's going to win it, but we need to win solar there because it seems to me Nevada's a place with a whole lot of sun. Solar makes a lot of sense. Sorry, Warren Buffett. Sorry, dino thinkers. Sorry, people who are heavily vested in fossil fuels. Your time has come to stop sucking the 99 dry and fucking this planet. That's what pisses me off the most. Here's Solar City on solar in Nevada.
Last week I was here, I didn't have a clear path on how we're going to fight, but now we have a very clear path on how we're going to fight. Who's affected by the stop of installation in Nevada?
To bring back solar! Bring back solar! Bring back
What's the whole fight for?
Let's fight, people! Let's fight!
We fight for choice. We fight for clean energy.
We're gonna take Empire back!
Are you fighting for their jobs?
I love this family of people.
It's a monumental decision you guys are making here. I don't think you quite realize what this means to you, to your legacy.
What's the Constitution say? So we the people, not I the government.
We are the good guys. Show the state legislators that there's massive public support. You can never lose focus. You have to succeed in this. Politicians don't do what the people want. They do what the people demand. Are we gonna fight? Yeah! Are we gonna win? Yeah! Just get full commitment. Go James.
Sorry about the blowout audio there. Oop, sorry about that blowout audio too. Oop, everybody's really loud. That was, apparently the sun's gonna blast my face now. Hang on a second. There we go. Fix that with professional lighting gear. That was Solar City, and in that video, in one of those shots, is Crystal Hosmer, my actual Solar City rep, who's trying to help me get solar put on this. But I've been too busy to call a tree guy to come out and take care of trimming one of the diseased trees that we have that is blocking a lot of our sun. And here, for me, what it means in terms of cost, I don't own the gear. It stays on the house. It's there for 30 years. It's warranted for 30 years. I sell it with the house. It's being leased. What I pay doesn't change. Half of it goes to the electric company, the other half of it goes to Solar City, and I get a tax rebate at the end of the year from the state of Oregon. 60% of that I keep, 40% of that goes to Solar City, and that's how they subsidize solar. That's how they pay for the gear. And that's what people have to understand. If you're trying to invest in solar right now and make money, or trying to invest in solar and cut your bill in half, it's not going to happen right now, unless you want to purchase the equipment. So solar is being misrepresented because the advantage is, over time, your cost goes down. And that's another thing. The electric company bill is going to continue to go up and up and up. My Solar City bill is set at a small incremental rate of change, a fixed rate of change that is much lower than the rate of change historically from the electric company. So my bill will go down over time. as it should, because the cost of solar over time will go down, as it should. But the cost of fossil fuel from the electric company will not go down, even though the price of oil right now is at the bottom of the barrel. How long do you think that's going to last? How long do you think it'll take before they come up with a reason to jack the price up? It's not going to take long, folks. They can do whatever the fuck they want with the price of oil and other controlled resources. And as somebody so beautifully said in here, you can't own the sun. And that's what Buffett's pissed off about. You can't own the sun. What you can own is a device that collects the energy from it. Ah, Brian's coming in. What you can own is the next stage in energy. What you can own is the progressive way to profit from the sun, which is what Elon Musk and Solar City have built. Again, nobody says don't profit. It's just don't be an asshole. There's a difference between the kind of things Elon Musk builds and Warren Buffett owns. A big difference. You know what? I'm just seeing it. I want to. That was fucking great. It was Killer Mike Stash. I think you're talking about the HBO clip, which I finally got to see a little bit of. Celeste, have you seen any of that? I haven't seen the whole thing, guys, and I see Ryan Lavachek is in here to probably talk about videos, which is cool. We can pick one and run it because I haven't had a chance. I just got to say, I went and bought some pot last night. Thank you. Was it Lil Amsterdam? I should plug them. I told the guys I was plugging them. I don't have that. Anyway, Little Amsterdam, which is down on the 99, which is like the second closest place to me, but has better parking than the first closest place to me. And I love being 46 and going in there and having these smiley young guys. What you looking for? And they recognize me now, and it's really cool. And yes, it's fun. It's fun. I like it. I don't drink, so for me, it's fun. It's blast. Where was my point with that? I was going somewhere with that. That's kind of funny. I don't even remember where I was going with that. And we're talking about pot. We're talking about Killer Mike. I love the fact that people are talking openly about it. It's so cool. You never used to hear people talk openly about it. Like I'm high right now, they say. Or, yeah, we went backstage, we smoked a joint. What they're talking about is Killer Mike gave Bill Maher, the last time they were on the show, a jar of weed. Because it's actually legal to do so, right? I mean, not federally legal, but in the state of Oregon, I've done this with neighbors. I take a jar of my weed and go, here's a gift. I can gift like 8 ounces. You can gift a lot of weed, actually, to an individual. Who came in? Hey, Ryan. Hey, John. They put you on it down here. So, what? You want to talk about weed?
Yeah, you can gift me some.
Yeah, but, well, are you in Oregon?
Could be.
I've no problem with that. I don't mind doing that. I actually like it. It's fun to say I grew this. You know, we honestly we've got farmers out here that grow eggs and bacon and other stuff. Just that we trade. Yeah, I love being able to barter and trade. The barter and trade economy is part of the new social economy. And you guys know that. We know that. But what was awesome, really? Margaret Cho was stoned with Bill? I didn't know that. But that makes sense. What I love was that Killer Mike said, yeah, I gave him a jar, and then he said, that'll make my mom happy because my mom actually grew it. And then he related the story of what his mom told to him about weed, and then what he told his child about it. And I just love it because it was so criminalized. What my mom told me about weed was that if she found out I was smoking it, I was going into rehab, or we're going to go talk. What it was I was going to go talk to Father Mullison because we were a Catholic family when I was younger, and I was still going to the church at the time. Between the ages of 15 and 16, 3 Catholic girls changed my mind about the entire universe and about drugs and about alcohol. And yeah, it was the Catholic girls that ruined me. But but prior to that, my parents were very just say no, very anti-drug. My mom was a nurse, and so yeah, as far as they were concerned, it was horrific. It was terrible. It was just as bad as snorting coke. And I grew up in a very different place. So, and I talk about this now because we can. So I think it's really, really cool. I just had to bring that up because everybody was saying that. How you doing, Ryan?
Not bad.
You want to
winding down. So, No, not yet.
Not yet. You said winding down what?
Winding down still from yesterday. The adrenaline high I was on.
Yes, yeah, that was pretty fun. That was pretty awesome yesterday. What was going on there?
Yeah.
See where you.
But I mean, we can. If you want to play a video at some point, I'll gladly talk about it. But you do your thing, John.
Yeah, whatever. You tell me which one. I'm just trying to get into a decent mood. I'm just reading some of the comments here. My dad is awesome. My dad is bad as. Oh, I don't have blue swirlies going. Damn it. Zoom. There we go. Swirlies. Before we stop talking about Nevada, I need to show you the Bring Back Solar petition that is very helpful. If you haven't signed this, folks, please go here. This is bringbacksolar.org. And go there, fill out the petition. I've already done this. Please help them. They really need to get this going here. It's establishment politicians in Nevada fighting Bernie-crats. There really is a battle going on, and Solar City has taken the battle to the streets. That was Mark Ruffalo in there talking in some of the committee meetings. This is serious. This is serious. It's who's got the TV? This is we all understand. Everybody who's not connected to the fossil fuel industry and everybody who's not making money from the fossil fuel industry understands that this is a dire time, that we need to save our planet, and that renewables are the way to go. Every other nation is far ahead of us in terms of renewables. And we are still suckling off the oil money. Our politicians are. Right? And that's why we have to elect new people, put new people in office. We have an opportunity. Represent Us, that great video we watched the other day, their plan to change the corruption in politics is Bernie's plan. Elect officials that give a shit. Elect officials that aren't on the take. Right? That's what we have to do. Let me see what else we got here. I did have a few other things pulled up to look at. We're going to run this video here. Actually, all right, Ryan, what do you want to run? Let's see. We saw Need to Turn yesterday. We saw Jay Nichols. Yeah. Actually, this is right. You could run there. It's not like that. You know what I want to run right now? I really, really like this video. It's not one of Ryan's videos, but I really liked this the other day. I don't know if I ran this yet, folks. I'm sorry for taking so long to figure this out. Here. This is a Facebook video. You voted for Bernie, honey. And it's just a user-submitted video, and it's in New Hampshire, and they catch some people coming out of the primary, and listen to the testimony from this couple. It's beautiful, and this is the kind of stuff that no establishment media will ever be able to capture. Brian, mute yourself.
Yep.
Thank you. Feeling the burn?
Woo! Oh!
Feeling the burn?
Really? Oh, you're voting for Bernie? You're voting for Bernie? Oh man, that's awesome.
That's what I'm saying right there.
He said he was changing.
It's changing. He said it.
That's awesome.
Time is changing.
Yeah. Good afternoon, and
How you
another
doing?
one more to you.
Yeah? Feeling the burn?
Gotcha. Oh, you're voting for Bernie?
He's feeling the burn.
Oh, sure. Here. Wait, let me ask you something. Can I ask you something?
Would you mind talking for a second?
Oh, God, no, don't tell me on anything. Oh, okay. God almighty.
No, you're fine. Come on.
What's your name? Linda. When did you decide to vote for him?
I don't even want to say it because it really sounds stupid. About 15 minutes ago. I've had the two Democrats, I've researched, I've gone back and forth, I've been on the other train for a long time. It's so fresh, it's so new, it's so like I could have tossed a coin.
So what made you do it? What made you vote for Bernie?
Probably everything. I was just watching him last night on TV, and it came down to convincing me that we need that big a change. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I don't know.
You want some big changes.
Big changes, and I got a woman in the White House, powerful, kind of bitchy, but that's what we call powerful if it's a man. All those things are great, but what he says is your average Joe. It's real. I don't know.
You think he's going to help you and your family?
I think he's going to help my family. I think he's going to help everybody's family. I think he's going to change a way of thinking, maybe, and I hope. Because he's very down to earth. He's real. He's just real. He doesn't have the White House under his belt. You know what I mean? I think that might be a good thing. Well, that goes unspoken, does it not? Hello. He's just a real person. Yeah, from what I can see, from what he says, from what I can read. And I think that was, in the last few minutes, it was like, okay, politician, really good politician. Let's just preach him. And he got it. I love him.
You love him?
Really, watching him. He's just, he's like your father, like your grandfather, like the guy next door. He's got all the same values.
You trust him?
I do trust him, and I hope I'm okay with that. I don't trust a lot of people. If he's who he says he is, I trust him. And I'm,
Did you look into his track record as well?
Yeah. And I mean, Vermont speaks for itself, whatever that's about, but it does, as much as New Hampshire speaks for itself in other ways.
Are you registered independent or
I am an independent. And I am again. And we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Did you also vote for Bernie?
Yeah.
You also voted for Bernie?
Really?
Yeah.
You hot stuff. Woo.
You did?
Right.
Yeah.
When did you decide?
When I was standing at the table.
We were going round and round all this time about that.
So you decided this morning?
No. 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Okay, well, why did you decide to vote for him?
Probably all the same reasons.
You trust him?
I hope so. I hope he does what he says.
Yeah. But he's going to fight for you.
Yeah.
All right. May I ask how old you are?
62.
62? And you?
61. 61?
Okay. He's 25, and he's been saying the same thing you're saying.
I think it's very fresh. Since the very beginning, he's fresh. Whatever that's about.
For the working class, that's the biggest thing for me is that he's not for the 1% and 2%.
Right. And he's not standing up there quoting anything. You know what I mean? They ask him a question, he answers a question. It doesn't sound like somebody sat down and wrote the whole darn thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you think he's going to win in this precinct?
I would like to see that.
Not too many young people in Daring,
A lot of older people like him, too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. What's your name, sir?
Alan Maddox.
And you're a couple?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Surprised we don't talk about it.
Yeah, you are so surprised.
All right. That was just some awesome testimony from that couple. You're a couple. Yes, I can tell they're a couple. If you've been married for a while, that's a couple. You can tell. Anyway, we're back. I was looking at some of your comments, folks, seeing what you guys were having to say, and good to have you here. As I said, kind of a weird day. It's going to be a short show. I'm going to cut here in a few minutes. I'm going to end with a song that I ended with last night, but I think because we privatized the video, you can't see it. Ryan or Celeste, is there anything you guys want to bring up or talk about today before we run out of here?
Yeah, I have something about Nevada and South Carolina. When I talked to Justin Bamberg the other night. I asked him, it's not in the video, I don't think. It was something I recorded privately. Actually, I think it might be the audio file in that folder, John, if you can find that.
I'm in the folder. Let me refresh and see what's in there. What's the
Are you in my folder, the one Janine made for me?
I see it. I've got it.
Okay.
Do we want to play that audio? Because I have it up here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, because I thought it was a good point that was made as far as how he's going to fare in the next 2 states.
Okay. So this is Justin Bamberg, representative, making these statements?
Yes.
Okay. We'll click over and you can watch this, guys, while we play it. Hear what he has to say.
With Bernie having the overwhelming majority of younger voters behind him, do you think that is going to carry over to the next couple states, South Carolina and Nevada, who have a more diverse population as far as minority voters?
Without a doubt. What you're going to see, one thing about having young people so involved in the process and so excited and amped up, whether it be in person, whether it be social media, is that spreads. And what you're seeing is there are older people. So these young folks, their grandparents and their parents are seeing their kids excited about a presidential race like they've never seen them excited before. And it's, of course, they're excited about Bernie. So what does that make the parents and the grandparents do? Hey, who's the Sanders guy? Let me look at him. And you're seeing a shift. You're seeing a shift. And it's building in South Carolina. And I think you're going to see it continue to build throughout the South.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. So yeah, I thought that was really cool, and it made me think right away of Eddie and what he's been doing just with his family and the people he comes in contact with. You know, having young people excited about this is encouraging them to talk about it, to talk with their families about it, and as we all know, the more people hear about Bernie, the more they like him, and if these kids keep talking and are excited and taking part in democracy, I just think that parents and grandparents are going to have no choice but to at least inform themselves on what Bernie's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. We say that your point right on. Is we say that to Eddie and all the kids all the time. You know, the fact that it's a good point to make. There was another kid I ever responded to, I'll say young adult, said, I'm 15, what can I do? Being here, being active on social media. We have other guys who are teenagers, and they've got just tons and tons of followers, right? Because they're in high school and they got massive followers. That's what you can do, guys. Spread the burn on the web. Spread the burn with your parents and grandparents. Take your smartphones, take your tablets, drag them over to them. Go to your grandparents, go watch this, watch Bernie. Watch what these people have to say. Watch what this old person has to say, Grandpa. Right? This is, you guys bring the media to the people who do not get the internet. That's you are the conduit right there. And as Ryan was so indicating, listen, parents, as a parent, Ryan, do you have kids at this point in your life?
No.
Okay. I do. I'm 46, and I'm not a grandparent yet, but I will tell you this, that kids have a lot of power there. Parents very excited to see their kids, right, interested in politics, and if their kids are going to look at something, then the parent's going to have to go look at it too to make sure the kid's not getting into anything weird, right? Grandparents going to look into it too because it's weird that the kids look into it at all. So you cause this whole thing going on there between parents, grandparents. So yes, kids, you're probably the most powerful force that Bernie has in reaching older generations, right there. Okay. So
and that excitement that he has going to, you know, especially with Nevada being a caucus state, that people flock to that, and if these young people are excited and taking part and, you know, promoting Bernie like that, it creates that energy that if you are those people from that New Hampshire video that you just showed, that 15 minutes before voting still didn't really know who they were voting for, and then you see the excitement surrounding Bernie, I think that goes a long way to draw people in.
Agreed. And guys, just I want to shift the subject really quick here because I just got an email from Crystal. I had forwarded the email about Bernie Sanders meeting with former Solar City employees to her. I said, "Are you aware of this?" Because we just got news, and literally we just got, like yesterday, we got an email from Michael Briggs that said Bernie's going to be here. And today, this morning, we got an email that says, "Hang on, I just want to talk about this." Where is it? This morning, Sunday, February 14th, Bernie will be in Las Vegas. I just got that information. And before I forget, Janine gave me a feed. Janine found a feed, so we have a feed for the Colorado event, which is at 9 Eastern, I believe, 6 my time. And it looks like a local station, so we should be okay carrying that. So, yeah, we have that happening, folks. That's good. And Bernie will be in Las Vegas tomorrow. Anybody in Vegas that wants to help with that, let us know. Although it's early. It's Sunday, 10:30 a.m. at Bonanza High School, and I don't see anything else going on there. But I just wanted to bring that up. Here's what Crystal had to say. And let's see. Let me show you guys. I can pull up some of the email here.
While you frame that, John,
Yeah.
I just want to let you know I've dropped a link into the live production. Now you don't have to put me on screen. Ted McNally provided a poll from the Free Beacon out of Nevada, and so it's the most recent poll. I'm dropping that link in live production if you want to look at it.
All right.
And we've also had a request from volunteer Hannah to mention the TPP. So I'm mentioning the TPP. Thank you.
The TPP, because we're actually in a good spot there, folks. Okay. If you're not aware, the latest information from Paul Ryan says they don't have the votes to pass it. So the pressure is good. We need to keep up the pressure, keep signing the petitions, keep pushing the web. But echo coming somewhere. But we're in a position right now, folks, where they don't have the votes to pass it, and that's where we stand. The TPP is still horrid and evil, and we need to pound Obama on this. We need to pound Hillary on this, because you know the minute she would get in office, it'd be pushed through. Okay. So there's been a lot of activity worldwide about this, and it's worked. It's worked. So we need to keep up the pressure. Definitely need to keep up the pressure. But as of this point, Paul Ryan is saying that they don't have the votes. I'm looking for that. I'm looking in the live. Here's the Free Beacon poll. Might as well just pull it up while I have things framed.
Yeah, and just a little personal commentary on Paul Ryan. I wouldn't trust that fuck as far as I could spit him or throw him.
Well, of course, we don't trust him, but, you know, with the terms of that information, I don't see any reason for him to make that statement. There's no advantage to lying there. So I think he's just saying we don't have the votes to do it. And I think, and the other thing is, and this is, it's good that you brought that up, though, for this reason, Celeste, and that is, somebody, was it you? Last night, somebody made a statement in the chat comment that this looked like maybe, oh, I'm frozen. What a great freeze. Why does it always do that in a horrific freeze? Jesus, fuck. I'm just going to put that back up because it's awful. That's how I feel today, folks. That's my what the fuck face. There we go. Wonderful. Thank you, computer. Still frozen. Shit. See what I have to put up with? See what I have to put up with?
It's live TV, folks, on the Walmart of broadcasting. Isn't that the way you put it, John?
Yeah. The camera's dead. I have to like literally restart the camera. Why don't you tell everybody what this poll says?
Okay, well, I've got it up in front of me. I hadn't really had a chance to look at it, but what it seems to be is the Nevada Democratic Caucus survey, the top line results. And I don't know what the hell N equals 1,236 potential Democratic caucus goers. Okay, so that's what N is going to equal. It's basically a list of questions. And,
I'm back.
and answers in association to the people that were polled, from what I'm seeing. And it doesn't look as if out of the 1,200 or so polled, there was a whole hell of a lot that responded, from what I can see. Only 867 out of 1,236 responded.
All right.
And
Piece for this thing? Gotta be another page. That's that. Yeah, here's more stuff.
Look at the first-time voter percentage. 55% first-time attendee versus 45% past attendee.
All right, so these are all the percentages here, and we're looking. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got the age breakdown. Here's the age breakdown: 18 to 29, 16%; 30 to 45, 20%; 46 to 64 is 32%, and then the 65 and older is also at 32%.
Yeah, you're right. The first-time caucus attendees at 55% is huge, and then Bernie Sanders definite 32% versus Hillary Clinton definite 34%. With we've got 9. Bernie Sanders could change his mind. Hillary Clinton could change his mind. It's a total of 15% there. There's a whole bunch of in between here. Leaning, undecided, 9%. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like on the question of trust, Bernie's got it 53 to 29, so he's way ahead on that. But if you look at the collapsed ballot information, it's basically a statistical dead heat. Even with undecideds, if you split the undecideds in half, you're still at an effective dead heat.
I think the question that says which candidate here's what drives me nuts. This is what I don't understand. This is where I go, how come people are not connecting one logical statement? Your statement and your actions are incongruent. I don't understand. When these two questions are asked, regardless of whom you're supporting, which makes no sense, which candidate do you think is the most honest and trustworthy? Why would you not support the most honest and trustworthy candidate? I don't understand that. And then secondly, cares. Which candidate would you say cares more about people like you? 49% Bernie, 36% Hillary, with 50% equal. But that 49%, overwhelming. That 53% in trust, overwhelming. Which candidate do you consider to be the progressive candidate in the current Democratic race? 49% overwhelming. All Bernie Sanders folks. Then why is the percent? Why are we in a dead heat over your choice? Where's the disconnect? Who's the more honest politician? Choice made. Who cares a shit about people like me? Choice made. What is with all this other shit? I don't understand why there's even any of what it should be a very simple deduction here. That's what I don't get about the rest of America, even bothering to look at Hillary Clinton, who hangs out with war criminals who were happy carpet bombing Cambodia to murder 100,000 people or more. Hillary Clinton, who is now partnered with the DNC to provide money to the DNC directly, yet both claim this will not influence their decisions. I don't understand that. That's the disconnect I don't get with those voting for Hillary. You say one thing, then you say something else. I don't understand. I've lost my connection here. I've lost my connection. So, that's an interesting poll. You guys want to say something about it?
Yeah, I want to thank Ted for dropping this in, because what really is fascinating to me, and it just this document here gives us all a window into the way polling groups frame questions in order to elicit responses. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at this one for taxes. Bernie Sanders says he wants to increase taxes on corporations in order to improve income inequality, while others say this money would go to pay for new government spending programs. Does this make you more or less likely to support him? Did you grasp the framing of that question there? It's what he's going to do with the increase in taxes on corporations is he's going to improve income inequality by the fact that those taxes are going to help pay for the expansion of certain government programs that already exist.
Yep. Well, not only, and let's add to that the piece of logic. The piece of logic that everybody seems to forget here. When you have a government that is not corrupt, when you have a government with people that we've elected that functions the way it's supposed to because we've been forced rules that make it so, which we are capable of doing, and we've learned that this election period, then you don't worry about big government, folks, because we own it. This argument about big or small government, more government programs, yes, you know what we're going to do? We're going to cut the government programs that we don't need, like the military, in half. Okay? We don't need more bombs. We don't need more tanks. Why aren't we questioning those big government spending programs? Why aren't those big government programs mentioned? My God, the biggest fucking government socialist program we have is the military. Cut it the fucking half. Cut it in by 2/3. Take all of that money, all of that infrastructure, all of that power and activity, and put it to use elsewhere. And then tell me, we redistribute the wealth in this nation. We also need to redistribute the government. It needs to go towards education and healthcare and space and science and fucking shit that we care about. The environment. Our goddamn nation that's falling apart. Infrastructure. So when people go, Bernie wants to create big government, yes, he does. He wants to take the big warped government that exists and reshape it into a big government that works for us. Because we should have a big government. We're a big country with big things that does big shit. So we need a big government. But that government has to remain under our control. And the laws need to be in our favor because it's our government that rules by our will. We are the people. And if we piss on that democracy and we let officials take that control from us like we have for the last 40 years, then we are stuck in the situation we are right now. Yes, we need to spend a fuck ton of money to fix our shit. And we need to take that money from programs that already exist that we don't fucking need. And it's going to take big government to fix our big government problems. So there shouldn't be an issue with big government. I want big government. I just want one that actually does what we tell it to do. We have a presidential candidate gonna do that. That's the argument that I make with any fucking conservative who talks about big government. Let me talk about your military-industrial complex. Shut the fuck up about big government. End of story. And Bill Clinton, the era of big government is over. Fuck you, Bill. No, it wasn't. The era of the private prison. What you did was privatized government, Bill. You took our government and you put it out there on privatization. Let's make money off poor people over here. Let's put them in jail. Let's make money off 3 strikes laws over here. Fuck you, Bill. Fuck you, Hillary.
Hey, you know what, John? I'm going to jump right in because that's a perfect place to start talking about what our government is and what we want it to be for us and what it should be for us. And it has been bastardized over the past 35 years to get people to believe that government doesn't work. Well, the reason government doesn't work is because the people that are being elected don't want it to work. that's the whole idea, and it is the privatization. They want to take and transfer the wealth of the taxpayers to, a few select private hands. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a fuck about the size of the government, provided it's an efficient government. That's the difference. We need efficiency in our government. It's not the size of the government. And the other part of the government bashing has to do with unions, because government's employees have unions, and those are one of the last vestiges of unionization in the United States of America.
Thank you, Celeste. I'll take you off screen now. I can't make this a happy show today. I'm sorry. I can't make this a happy show today. What I need to tell you is I'm probably going to do this feed tonight from Colorado. So we'll go on with at least a half-hour show. I don't know what kind of crew I have today. I do have to figure out some things. I do have a meeting after this that is exciting, and that's with the new person that'll be carrying around our live stream unit. And hopefully that'll eliminate a lot of these problems. But I have in the past said that I thought this was going to work, and it hasn't. And so somebody said John's defeated today. Fuck yeah, I am. I'm tired. I'm defeated today. I'm glad all of you are here, and the fact that you're here with me really makes me feel good. But I'm out of gas. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. I was gonna play this other punk song because I liked it, and it's cute, and it's fun, and it's happy. But I'm not feeling cute or happy or fun today at all. So we're gonna go out with really what comes down to our theme song, because it reminds me of corruption. It reminds me of the bullshit and the lies that I grew up with. And I want to remind everybody else of the bullshit and the corruption and the lies that they are faced with right now. And that this is not an election cycle. This is a political revolution. This is a war. And we can't stop. And thank you all for being here. Feel the burn.